trust me, come with a real. He up in the front seat, get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Come with a dank, skrilling in the tank, rolling with the gang. You sit and I on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
What's up? Good evening. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. I am the Chase Young list. Oh man, it's coming back.
I'm
up.
Danny Raxter. It's nice to meet you.
Chris in the TV booth. JB Smooth. Where's that? Black Stallion.
Black Stallion.
Calling out the sign signals over there on the ones and twos. Oh. We might. Okay.
Oh my God.
Still some signs.
Costume of the year. JB's a little bit. What?
Wait until it shows Woody Page again.
What's Woody Page?
Barbie or something? I don't know.
I am Batman. Comment in the chat. What do you think I am? That's what I am, guys. I this is a calm version of me because as you guys know, the NFL trade deadline ended today at 4 p.m. sharp, 4 p.m. Eastern. And the Detroit Lions cashed in on absolutely nobody. I mean Donovan Peoples-Jones, which if I'm being honest with you, I do like Donovan Peoples-Jones.
That was a good trade.
I commented on the Lions Twitter after the trade. I was upset. I've said a lot of things today.
Yes, you did.
But I said L's in the chat. And all these, I hate Michigan fans. I mean, if you're a Michigan fan, you watch the show, thank you. But like the worst part of your fan base is like the worst part of any fan base. Oh, probably a sorry Spartan. No. I am pissed off that the San Francisco 49ers, that you're contending against in the NFC, acquired Chase Young, who has 6 sacks in the season, maybe even more. It might have gone up since then. I checked his numbers from the last game.
I think he's got 5.
For compensatory, he's got 6. Compensatory third-round pick.
Yeah.
Do you know what a compensatory pick is, Spinny?
It's what you get when you lose a good player.
You get it when you lose a good player?
Don't call me Spenny.
I'm sorry, Danny. Apologize, Danny. You get it when you lose a good player in free agency. You get it when you lose a minority coach.
Yep.
Which they lost Rob Saleh. They lost D'Amico Ryans. So the 49ers, the rich get richer. They got a couple third-round picks to make up for that. You know what they did with one?
Got Chase Young.
They cashed in for Chase Young.
And you know
Put
what
him right next.
Fuck.
Idiot. Put him right next to Nick Bosa. Or was it Joey Bosa? Which one of the 49ers got? Nick Bosa. And here's the crazy thing, too. Because the people on Twitter, but then they had to sign him to a $20 million deal. By the way, worth a $20 million deal. I have no issue. If I have Nick Bosa and Chase Young, both on my defensive line, and I'm sad about paying them, I'm sorry. I have no issue with paying those people.
Good problems to have.
But the one thing that people are just forgetting about, the compensatory pick. How do you get it against Spinny?
If a good player leaves and signs with someone else.
So if they can't afford to re-sign Chase Young and he leaves, then they're going to get a
third-round pick.
They're going to get another compensatory pick. They got Chase Young
for free.
For nothing.
For free.
By the way, Detroit Lions, they have two first-round picks.
Two third-round picks.
2 third-round picks.
Yeah.
You had the capital to go and do it. You just didn't want to do it at the end of the day. Quite clearly, did not want to do it. And it infuriates me. It frustrates me because they needed to do something if they truly wanted to contend. I'm holding true to that statement. I think they feel the same way because the type of statements they used after they didn't make the trade were words like, we have a process. We have a way that we want to do things. So they obviously just don't see themselves in that title picture yet. But still, for a third-round pick.
Yeah, if Chase Young signs a major deal with another team and the 49ers don't re-sign him, they will get a compensatory pick back.
Yes. And it's based on how much money he gets, how long, all that stuff comes into the formula. The formula doesn't matter. They're still getting compensated if he walks regardless, no matter what. And they gave him for a free third-round pick that they got. I'm hurt.
You know what? Let me tell you something. I know you're all young men in here. You haven't been through the toils that I've been through in my 72 years. You know, I've been watching this Lions team for a long time. And I'll tell you, that 57 team, I watched that 57 team. Yeah, yes, yeah. Oh, he's Taylor Swift. Okay, yeah, that's nightmare
Woody
fuel.
Page is Taylor Swift.
That is nightmare fuel.
Terrifying.
All right, that
Wow.
57 team, they were not scared to make a trade. That 57 team, it's the best football team I've seen in my years. They were not scared to make a trade.
And I don't want to hear shit about a third-round pick. You're telling me the third-round pick that Brad Holmes collects next year is going to be Chase Young? What are the odds of that?
Very
Let's
slim.
be real.
Very slim.
Slim.
Slim to none.
Slim.
Something we don't know about.
Some we don't know about.
Slim.
But damn.
That white rapper from Detroit. What's his name?
Slim Skittles.
Slim. Yeah,
Slim Skittles.
Yeah.
Slim Shady. And guys, this is like the calm down version of you. I promise you. I was heated earlier.
You were.
I was pissed.
I didn't want to be near you. I thought you were having another manic episode.
Yeah, it was close, Vinny. I was driving when I got the news, and I hit one of those.
I made my thoughts pretty clear on the interwebs. You know, I hit the tweeter, and I sent.
Oh, it's not called that anymore, sir.
What's it called?
Mr. Raxter. It's called X now.
X?
Yeah.
Like X marks the spot?
Yeah.
I'm not calling it X. I'm calling it tweeter. I call them the Redskins. I'm calling it tweeter.
All right.
So I hit the tweeter machine, and I sent out one of those twits. And I said, I calmed down, you know, had a scotch or two. Smooth.
Nice.
Fired up one of my Cohibas, and I told myself, this tells me one thing. This tells me the Detroit Lions are not trying to chase a Super Bowl championship this year. You went from possibly, maybe, arguably, the second best team in the NFC to fighting with the Dallas Cowboys to be the fourth best. You were jumped. You will not beat Seattle. You will not beat Philadelphia. You will not beat San Francisco if you see them in the playoffs.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
We're playing to win a playoff game.
You play to win the whole thing. I mean, that's what we throw the ball out there for.
A young man that I look up to, he's a very good coach, he's a very good motivational speaker, once said, you play to win the game. Very young man, but he's very good at his job. You play to win the game. The Lions look like they're playing to win the division that was already wrapped up. I don't want to hear, they're 6-2. I don't want to hear, they're going to win the NFC North. They were already going to win the NFC North. They were already 6-2, beating up on subpar teams. Do I think this is a good team? Yes. Don't get me wrong. Do I still have faith in Brad Holmes? Yes, I do. But man, it really would have been nice to see them add one of these top-tier pieces to actually be able to compete in the playoffs with the big dogs in the conference. And the big dogs in the conference are Philadelphia, Seattle, and San Francisco.
They're just too big and scary.
I have no confidence going forward saying this Lions team can beat them.
What? Win? This year?
Yes.
No. Them boys getting smacked.
They'll win. I still think they're going to win the division, obviously. That's easy. Because, 3 of the worst 6 teams in the NFL are what makes up your division. I think they'll win the division. If they get lucky and don't draw Dallas in the first round, maybe they draw Tampa Bay. Maybe they draw in Atlanta. Whoever wins that shit division, you can win a playoff game. But then you get to the divisional round. And I don't care if it's in Ford Field. I don't care if it's in Philadelphia. I don't care if it's in that city, San Francisco. It's known for some things. You're not going to beat one of those teams. Earlier in the season, one of those teams, Seattle, they came into your house, came into Ford Field.
And they whooped our ass.
Without 2 starting tackles.
And they lost the center in the middle of it, too.
And they lost the center in the middle of the game. And what could you not do, Easy?
You couldn't get a single sack until the end of the game.
Couldn't get a single sack until the end of the game. You couldn't touch Geno Smith the whole game. But you don't add one of the bevies of pass rushers that were out there for a third-round pick.
For a third-round pick.
It's all right. It's all right. Like I said, this team, it's got a great future. They have great pieces. But I would have liked to see them do something this year because in the NFL, it is a win-now sport. You never know when a window is going to close. You never know what is going to happen to a team. You never know what's going to happen to the teams around you.
The audacity to even...
And I think this NFC window, before this trade deadline, before today, was just about as open to the Lions as it was to anybody else. But right now, I don't see the Detroit Lions making it past the divisional round.
It's cooked. Door shut. Slammed. Sorry. And I had to I closed the chat today, by the way, guys. I don't want to... I'm in one of those moods. I don't want to disrespect any of the people that come here and support us, but don't give me any of that bullshit.
Bull jive.
Bull jive.
Bull honky.
About doing it the right way or being in a winning organization. When we're watching winning organizations make these moves constantly, nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
The 49ers were the team to grab Chase Young.
They were.
Not the Rams, not the Texans, not any just scrub team, not the Cardinals. The 49ers, Smitty, who have been in the NFC Conference Championship for, 5 consecutive years now?
Yep.
More than likely probably going to end up there again. Don't give me that shit. This was an L. I don't care. This is a massive loss. If it's a patience thing, fuck off.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about patience. I am the flag holder of house patience. I'm waiting on a $1 million contract right now. I'm being patient. I'm waiting on it. But this, there's no patience with this, man.
It's tough, man.
It's tough. Negligence.
Like I said, I wouldn't be as upset. I said this on the tweeters as well. I wouldn't be as upset if Chase Young went anywhere other than San Francisco.
It's just another example of a team that wants to win, making a move that results in winning. Same thing with the Jalen Carter stuff. I'm sorry if anybody has to bring that one up, but a winning team that wants to continue to win, and not just win. I mean, because the Lions are winning. Don't get me wrong, 6-2, beautiful game last night, coming off a win as we speak. But win championships. Those are the moves that we're seeing. Yeah. Them just neglect. And again, if it's I don't know.
Faded Bones in the Woodward Sports chat says it's going to be next year, man. Chill.
You can't.
It's been next year my whole life. I agree. I do agree with that. I think they're going to go all in next year. I think they'll be just as good next year. I think they're going to be able to be 6-2.
Schedule's going to be tougher next year.
I think they're going to be able to go out there and make some things happen next year. But you never know, man. That's what it is with the NFL.
I don't know if it's a culture thing. I don't know if it's a fit thing. I don't know what it was. I had a lot more vicious things to say than I intended on saying today, and I promise you I'm reserving them. But I just.
Oh, and everybody is saying next year. You think Ben Johnson's going to be a coach on this team next year?
Oh my God! Don't even mention. Oh my God!
That's what our window. That's what we're waiting for.
Oh my
is next
God!
year.
I don't even think about that.
You think Ben Johnson will be the offensive coordinator of this team next year?
More frustrating.
I'm just saying, man. It looked like a perfect storm to be able to make some happen, to make some noise, to do something. But your competitors got a lot better.
It's embarrassing.
Your competitors got difference makers, brought in difference makers. And you didn't. And I still trust this team. I still love this team. But I can't, with a sound mind, say that I can see them beating the 49ers, the Seahawks, or the Philadelphia Eagles.
Chris, tell us about Glorious Cannabis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just in time for football, Glorious Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good. It's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years, something that the Lions are still chasing despite this trade deadline. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you are missing out. They are so smooth. You can find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off. And you can get that 25% off using the code Woodward at gloriouscana.com.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports Crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
With money on the line. Featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Your childhood may be over, but Playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment, sales, service, and parts. Carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, LS Tractor, Steel, and more. Servicing the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, visit us at OutdoorEquipCo.com. Outdoor Equipment Company, your power equipment playground. I do want to get this out there first, because I know you guys don't listen to what people say. I'm not saying this is SOL. I'm not saying, oh, it's all over, burn it down, send them home, this team's cooked. I'm just saying they had an opportunity in this deadline to push themselves into a real deal Super Bowl contender, and I think they squandered that opportunity by not going after an elite talent like we saw the other Super Bowl hopefuls in the NFC do.
It's No, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's more than just a Chase Young trade too. Obviously, that one hurts. And I mean, Montez Sweat went around too, and like, I get it. JB kind of stole some Montez Sweat. A lot of us all wanted Montez Sweat. I wasn't really pressed on that one too. I mean, Chase Young was the guy for me. Chase Young felt like a piece that was attainable. It hurt to see him go for what he went for, but it goes beyond that too. You have my guy, Brad Holmes or Dan Campbell, whoever said it, had the audacity to say, yeah, we grabbed DPJ because we felt like if we lost the guy in that receiver room,
we were one injury away.
That it needed to be addressed.
We're an injury in the secondary away from playing.
Yes, dude.
Will Harris.
Yes.
You guys liked Will Harris? Seen Will Harris out there?
Like, that's like mind-boggling, bro.
Yeah.
I have hair today, but I don't typically have hair. It makes me want to pull my freaking hair out. How do you say we were one injury away at the wide receiver position where you're absolutely stacked? Well, some would say you're stacked. I mean, I think the wide receiver room is pretty good, and I think Ben Johnson can make do with what's there no matter what. We've seen him do so. We've seen him make names of guys like Khalif Raymond and Josh Reynolds. We praise him all the time. But he watched that secondary room. We already lost 3 guys, and you don't address that?
Yeah.
That just goes unattended. You just nothing. You're cool. You're cool with sending out Will Harris start the outside cornerback position?
No, I'm not.
That's what that's the room that did it. That was the one that was stacked. We were fine there. What are we doing? I love these guys too. That's why it hurts. That's why I'm so pissed off, because things are supposed to be different. This is supposed to be the brand new Lions. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm so pissed off. That's why I'm so upset. Because I don't know what I bought into here. You talk about having faith in Brad Holmes. I got faith in Brad Holmes when it comes to things I see Brad Holmes can do. This took a chunk out of it, though. I'm not going to lie to you. Hey, I don't care. I'll do whatever consequence or backlash comes with that statement. I don't care. As of now, this took a fat chunk of faith out of Brad Holmes in this regime for me. I don't care.
Hey, Auteur, clean out your ears and listen.
Don't deal with these guys.
No, I'm just kidding. But I did not say they're not going to win a playoff game because of what San Fran did. I literally said they're going to win the division, and they'll probably win in the wild card round, depending on who they draw. If they get one of these, like I said, the winner of the South, somebody over there, one of the wild card teams, yeah, they'll get a dub there. But you get in the divisional round, and you got to play a Seattle or a Philadelphia or a San Francisco, and no, I do not think they're going to win that game.
Yeah, just that. I mean, that's why it hurts for me. because this is a regime that I had faith in more than anything else, and now I, maybe unfairly question so many more things that you see in the future. And as you spoke to earlier, I mean, you're losing Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson is a big piece of what this team is, a big piece of this team's success. Because as much as we love Dan Campbell tried out there before with the Anthony Lynn hire that he eventually had to fire and get rid of because it wasn't working out. Now that same guy hired Anthony Lynn, maybe he learned from it, maybe he didn't. He's going to make another hire. I'm sorry. I'm going to have a question mark about it. I'm going to be concerned about it. This was the year. At least to like...
I'm out. You guys have no faith in the new regime. Leave! Shut the fuck up and leave then.
Just close the chat.
Do you believe that they could beat those teams if they see them in the playoffs? You go in the divisional round. You're playing San Francisco. You have faith that you can win that game? You have faith you can beat the Seahawks even though you lost to them already and they got better? You have faith you can beat the Philadelphia Eagles? Based on what? Yeah, I'm not saying it's over. I'm not saying burn it down. The regime sucks. Let's start over. No, they have a very good team. They have a lot of pieces. They're young. They're going to continue to build. Like I said before, and I'll say again, you missed out on an opportunity this year to be a real deal competitor for the Super Bowl. You had your opportunity, and you didn't take it. You didn't take advantage of it. So maybe they're going all in next year. We'll see. I hope the situation is the same next year. I hope we have this same thing going next year. Because things can change fast in the NFL. Ask the Rams. Ask the Bucks. Shit changes fast in the NFL.
I like Donovan Peoples-Jones a lot too, by the way. I don't want like whatever we got to him, but again, I just the things that clearly need to be addressed, just want to address it all, and that's where you lose faith. And if it's not in them as GM, coach, and whatever else, then it isn't this year for damn sure. As Spinney said, they're not going a week past the first week.
Yeah, it's
and they absolutely need to secure that number one seed. You saw what Jared Goff is on the road in the win. You saw the Wobblers out there last night too. It's just they're out there.
Jason Estrella says Jonathan Allen is still a possibility. No, he's not. The trade deadline's over.
Yeah,
there are no more trades until March.
Yep, 4 p.m. today. It's done. Chris, I know you wanted to say something. We
are going to talk about the game.
You seem to think that you resurrect the spirit in this room with this statement, and I'm very nervous for you.
Listen, I have two thoughts. Do you want that one or not my actual takeaway, because I believe there is some truth in the other kind of silver lining. But the first thing that this trade deadline gave me, and I'm just gonna say it as simple. It's disappointing because I think Brad Holmes valued draft day over the playoffs this year. I think he put more stock in April than he did in January, because as we know, Detroit is hosting the draft next year. And I think he put more stock in that than the playoffs this year. And I think that was a mistake, because I think that, like you said, the title window is short in the NFL. You never know when you're going to get it. You could be just as good this year or next year, maybe even better, hopefully even better. But you could have turned one bullet into two bullets this year and had this playoffs and next playoffs to really do something, because then you're looking down the window, Goff and the extension. But that's the one silver lining I want to bring, or maybe not silver lining, but more so just different perspective of this.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I want everybody in the chat who's saying it's an overreaction, who's saying it's bullshit, blah, blah, blah. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and convince yourself that the Lions are still a Super Bowl contender.
What do you mean they're going to? Like, that's why I closed the chat. That there's those. I again appreciate you guys being here, but there's those level of fans that I'll never relate with, because they're just completely delusional. The same ones that, and all due respect, gonna lose like $300 to me come into the season when Jared Goff doesn't finish top 10 MVP or top 5 MVP. That's the chat's closed. I'm not. I know those humans exist. They're gonna slob no matter what happens. Matter of fact, last night I gave Jared Goff praise for bouncing back after an interception, and somehow still got the slobbers attacking me for it. Wild. Didn't even speak on the interception. I spoke on how he bounced back from it. Chat's closed. I'm not dealing with those guys today. I speak on how I process information. A lot more times, if it sounds like I'm being braggadocious, it is what it is. But a lot more times I feel like I'm right than I'm not. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's why my opinion's valued enough to where I'm able to speak in front of a microphone and say these things. Chad's closed. Not dealing with the Gobblers today. This is bullshit. Massive L. Not for the franchise. Definitely for the season.
Artur says half this chat was not interested in Chase Young.
Yeah.
What are you guys going on about? This is your take about one guy. Again, I wouldn't be this mad if he didn't go to the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
If he didn't go to that defensive line that already contains Armstead, Hargrave, Bosa, that already has Greenlaw. And, dude, I don't know, man.
The contending team. He went to a contending team.
He went to a contending team.
Chris, I completely forgot. I mean, you're trying to lighten up the mood, and we went off the rails again. I apologize.
I just
we should be happy. What a game last night, but fuck.
I feel you. I agree, and I'm with everybody. And that point right there that Spencer brought up is where I'm getting, is in the smallest silver lining, which is going to also upset some people. Does this signal that Brad Holmes believes in potentially Hendon Hooker, or just the San Francisco model, seeing at where they're at with their title pieces? Yes, you may be similar in standings, but Brock Purdy is on that dirt cheap deal, and so they're making the moves to go out and get the guys. Where, yeah, right now Hutch is on the rookie deal, so yeah, it's awesome to go out and get some guys. You have that luxury, but maybe he's looking at it as a couple years down the line with Hutch making the Bosa money. He can go and still get a Chase Young when that time comes because he has this rookie insulated quarterback.
See, I saw it more as a commitment to Goff. If you're in the back of your head, you know that you got money coming off the books to pay him and lock up cap space there, then you didn't want to invest in like having a piece like Chase Young where you would have to then reinvest into it or get the compensatory pick that you would have got if you walked.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, hopefully they prove me wrong. Hopefully they go out there and win the Super Bowl. But you know, I'm not putting my mortgage on it.
I think, and again, the reason why it hurts is there's so many more implications on this regime as a whole that they were going to bring us this championship team, this Super Bowl team. I mean, I got guys that tell me that Jared Goff's going to win a Super Bowl here. Shots to Terrell NFL. But if Brad Holmes doesn't want to make the moves like that, does that tell you he believes they're going to win the Super Bowl this year? Does that tell you that he thinks those things? And then again, maybe he's just talking to talk. I talk for a living, so I understand that completely. But like, to sit there and say, "Oh yeah, we grabbed a DPJ because we felt like if we had any injury in this position, it would affect us." But you have a secondary that's been completely depleted throughout the entire season.
Yep.
And then Jeff Freddy from the Morning Woodward Show, catch it from 8 to 10 live on WoodwardSports.com. He made a comment too today. It was okay, so if you lost Aiden, then like what do you do? What's your defensive line then? Like there is so many more rooms that need to be addressed above the wide receiver room, and it just, I mean, it hurts because again the implications for me are just like maybe he's not what I thought he was. But it's too early to say that, and it could be overreaction. But I'm gonna live with those words because that's how I feel right now. And this is like me calm down. This is like after the blow up. And
I just looked at it. You're saying CJGJ, James Houston are on the way. Detroit Free Press said James Houston is scheduled for a December return. So hopefully we get him back for the playoffs. That'd be good. That'd be a good boost.
And then just real quick too, if I may, before we go to break here, third round picks because that's what the compensation was for Chase Young. Detroit Lions third round picks and Brad Holmes regime. Broderick Martin, who you hadn't seen active until last night.
He looked pretty good. I mean, he did some things.
Hendon Hooker, which you guys obviously know I'm banking on. I'm hoping that thing works out. Kirby Joseph, I do like him a lot. Aleem McNeil and Ife Melifonwu. I think maybe, and it's obviously too soon to speak on Hooker and or Broderick, but Kirby, the only one I could put in the echelon near or close to what Chase Young is. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. We'll have the discussion when we get back. I got to tell you guys about Mark White because whether you're buying or selling real estate, the best place to go is with my guy Mark White because flexibility is key to success. He's got the minute-by-minute listing agreement. That's when you cancel your listing agreement for any time, for any reason, with no penalty whatsoever. Give him a call today at 248-290-8242 or visit him at markwhitesells.com.
And let me tell you about Les Stanford. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today. Find the brand you want at lesstanford.com.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
At the Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art Sports Dome Fieldhouse that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field, which can also be used for 7-on-7 football. And let me know if you're going down there to play 7-on-7 football. I got some killer plays for you, trust me. But Academy of Warren features kindergarten through 8th grade with AM and PM latchkey, smaller classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, and so much more. The Academy of Warren is now accepting new enrollment, so go and check them out online today at theacademyofwarren.net. Now,
Check it
back
out.
to the heavies.
Huddle likes to open the phone lines. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Maybe I'll put a poll up. I know not everybody loves when we get to, we let the tourists call in and stuff like that. But if the audience wants it, we'll open the phone lines. I'll find some headphones, and we could have some discourse.
Let's talk about happy things.
Contending. Every team contending in the NFC got better. The Detroit Lions sat there with their junk in their hands.
Let's talk about happy things. I'm done. I'm over it.
Go ahead.
Lions won last night. Lions played a great game. They played an inferior opponent at home. We obviously saw Jimmy Garoppolo fucking sucks. He is terrible. He was missing open receivers all night. He's a statue in the pocket. And the Lions did exactly what you want out of them. They went out there and they dominated them. They dominated them on both sides of the ball. It was closer than we would have wanted. The offense spotted them 7 points, but still I had no fear in the Lions losing that game at all. It was impressive to watch. They were getting home to Jimmy Garoppolo. They were sending blitzes all night because Jimmy can't hit an open receiver to save his life. So it was extremely impressive. I thank God that Jimmy Garoppolo is that fucking bad because they lost the turnover battle but still won by double digits, which doesn't happen in the NFL. And I love to see that. The Raiders are cooked. Josh McDaniels sucks. Jimmy Garoppolo sucks. I feel bad for Max Crosby and Devontae Adams, but I was very happy with the performance of the Detroit Lions out there last night. They went out there and they kicked their ass.
Yeah, I mean, the Detroit Lions do what they've been doing, beating on bad teams. And when you face good teams, they got their asses whooped by the Ravens. Then Seahawks at home. Wish they would have, grabbed a piece of the deadline there. Not playing. This was supposed to be a happy show. This was supposed to be a go-lucky show. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs had a coming-out party.
Yes, he did.
And some woman literally raised him from the field into the stands and wanted to straddle him and take him home.
She straddled him, for
she
sure.
did. And I don't know if that was her husband.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was her brother. I don't know who it was. But if it was her husband and her boyfriend, and she did that in front of you and live national audience, Jahmyr got to make that phone call. She might be willing to do some crazy things.
Yeah, that's fair.
Whatever he may want, she may make come true. Shout out to her. That was awesome. Also, awesome selling by Jahmyr. That was sick.
Yeah, that was dope.
That was dope. But Jahmyr, fucking hell, man, that was awesome to see. It's awesome to see because it's what I wanted to see, what I expected to see. We had a brief show yesterday because of some technical difficulties and obviously the pregame show. Mm-hmm. But right when it started off the gate, we were like, look, Raiders have a bad run defense. They've been letting up 105 yards on average to every single team. Everybody and their mama got 100 yards against the Las Vegas Raiders. The Detroit Lions are a great running team.
Yeah.
I know that we have, to that point, hadn't seen everything we wanted to see out of Jahmyr at times, but it doesn't take away from the fact that this is a good running team. That's a bad running defense. Jahmyr, that makes for a good game for him. Going back to the other thing I wanted to see, that defense, Benny. Mm-hmm. And maybe we'll make that its own segment, but That defense, Spenny.
The defense was great.
That defense, Spenny.
I mean, I know he gave the game ball to Aaron Glenn because the defense only let up one score.
Yeah.
They held Jimmy Garoppolo to like under 150 yards passing.
And then Aaron Glenn gave it to
Jerry Jacobs and
Cam
to Cam Sutton for taking the 2 wide receivers that the Raiders have out of the game. I will say, like, Cam Sutton got beat quite a few times down the field. There were multiple occasions where you saw Devontae Adams running wide open down the field, and that's scary for anyone to see. But thank God, Jimmy Garoppolo is one of, if not the worst starting quarterback in the NFL, because he looked dog awful back there. Ali McNeil had a great day. Alex Anzalone had a great day. It was fun to watch. It was fun to watch them do what they have to do. If you play an inferior opponent at home, you are supposed to dominate them, and that's exactly what they did. They went out there and they kicked the ass of a shit team.
And I don't know if it's because I wasn't drinking or what. I was kind of stressed out because although it was like an ass kicking, it didn't feel that way. It felt kind of close, or like they still had an opportunity to jump in it. Yeah, it did.
I never felt that
up until like the third quarter. It felt like a closer game than it actually was. Just the feeling itself. I mean, again, maybe it could have been me. I wasn't drinking. I was kind of just maxing, relaxing, chilling. But obviously, you had the pick 6 from Jared Goff, and you're gonna get those. That's part of having Jared Goff as your quarterback. And interceptions happen.
Happen.
It sucks worse when they're pick 6s, obviously, but. I think what I'm most impressed with, and I think a lot of it comes from just his experience here in Detroit as a whole, is his ability to bounce back from that. I mean, this dude's literally been at the bottom of the barrel when you landed Detroit after sunny shine L.A. We've been over this a million times, but then you have the wherewithal, the right team around you, Dan Campbell in support of you, and you're able to bounce back from that. It's really translated to his play on the field, because each time that's happened this year, and Sticky even said going back to his entire career as a Lion, each time he's been a pick 6, Detroit Lions marched back down and scored a touchdown. I was impressed by that. I've been impressed by that for sure this season, Jared Goff.
Yeah, this team handles adversity in game well. You look at the strip by Max Crosby. What do? They go right back. They get a turnover. They get the ball right back. Or that was the Josh Reynolds fumble. They get the ball right back. Max Crosby rips the ball out from Craig Reynolds, which he was down. Like, Craig Reynolds was down. I know they can't overturn the call because there's no video evidence of it, but he was down.
The only way for him not to have been down, by the way,
is if he was floating.
Yeah. Defying the laws of gravity. And if that's the case, he should just be in the game at all snaps, at all times.
Yeah. And that didn't work. So the Lions, they get right back out there, they make a stop, and they have a good drive. And then the pick 6 happens. And what do? They go back out there and they handle business. They overcome adversity in games. They don't let something like that, they don't hang their heads, oh, woe is me, oh, pick 6, it's over, and then let it affect them for the rest of the game. They forget about it, mind like a goldfish, go out there and make some things happen.
Forget about
it.
And again, 169 likes. We'll open up the phone lines. You guys want to call and talk about the trade deadline and or the game. I know we're trying to change it a little bit more positive to them, but obviously I know the hot news is the trade deadline. So we'll discuss those things. You guys want to call in. But 169 likes is the goal. Jahmyr Gibbs, though, I've been trying to get Bryson into football. If you guys listen, I obviously learned. I taught him how to catch last week. And one of the ways to get him into football has been Barry Sanders highlights. And it's by the way, Barry's he's just an absolute legend.
Barry was different. I watched him for his whole career.
Yeah.
Barry Sanders was a different player.
Danny Raxter was there for every snap. But shout out to Barry for being so damn electric that he captures the imagination of a 3-year-old. Be like, can I be Barry Sanders? Like, that's just amazing. At 3 years old, I'm 4 years old. Shout out to Bryson. Happy birthday. Today's his birthday, by the way. But
happy birthday, Bryson.
Jahmyr Gibbs, I think is like the third or fourth most all-time yards from scrimmage. I think ESPN was put out there, 189 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And the plays he was making, they were of that breath. And it feels crazy to say, but they were. And we've just been waiting for it all season, and it's nice to see it like pan out that way. It's nice to see him look at the number 12 overall pick. When we get back to the negative stuff, it's not so negative from my standpoint. I'm just kind of accepting reality. Jameson Williams, he might be what he's been.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
I don't know if we can expect superstar out of that one anymore.
We'll see. Devontae Adams struggled with drops his first year. Jerry Rice struggled with drops his first year. Things happen. We'll see. I'm not giving up on him yet, but didn't look great. Chris, do you have that stat from Jahmyr Gibbs? Can you throw that up there real quick for the people to see?
Yeah.
So this is fantastic. 31 touches, 189 total yards, and a touchdown. He is the first Lions running back with that many yards in a game since Reggie Bush in 2013. The man was absolutely dominating out there. The guy outgained the Raiders by himself.
Yeah.
Extremely impressive, extremely good performance, and he was doing it between the tackles. He was running between the tackles. He was making cuts. He was being
He's doing it
explosive,
everywhere.
breaking tackles, getting into the second level, making guys miss. It is everything you want to see out of a first-round running back, and it was all on display. I was extremely impressed with Jahmyr Gibbs' performance.
Yeah, my favorite one was the cutback where he just bounced it outside. I think that one went for that. That's a 27-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
He was amazing. And I said, obviously, again, before the show started yesterday, but even then, with that interior offensive line kind of just being your backups, all due respect to Graham Glasgow, he's amazing, by the way. He'd be a starter anywhere else maybe, but I knew Jared Goff wasn't going to have all day back there with like Max Crosby being part of that defensive line unit for the Raiders. And so I'm thinking, when we get in the game, I'm like, yo, this is going to be like another Alvin Kamara. When you have Alvin Kamara, Derek Carr checking down him every single play a couple Thursday night games ago, and he was. And it's I guess to point out too, I wonder how it's going to mesh when David Montgomery comes back, because I think it's quite obvious now that Gibbs is like a rhythm guy.
Yeah,
he needs to get a few touches before he gets going. Where I feel like David kind of just hop in,
just
there.
Goes. Yeah.
So I feel like Jahmyr might be getting the bulk of the carries.
Yeah.
Even amongst the return of David Montgomery. We'll talk about that and more. If we hit that like goal again, we'll open the phone lines, have you guys call in, debates, whether you want to talk about the trades or whatever you guys talk about. Yeah.
Let me tell you guys about Guardian Alarm. Guardian Alarm offers you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and no Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800
Stay out.
That's 1-800
Stay out if you want to make a trade. We're not doing them here.
And let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. How would you like to win not one, but two vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Dispo, your local cannabis plug with over 12 locations across the great state of Michigan. It is just that, your local cannabis plug. They also deliver the stuff to you with my guy JB. Make sure you head over to disposhops.com and find Dispo Dash. You got to be 21 and up in an order or to be in the store. And if you're at a store, make sure you get the one on Romeo. Free food on Fridays, and they're open at midnight Monday through Saturday. Dispo, your local cannabis plug. What up, welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WorldSports.com. I'm Easy, a spin mode. Danny Raxter.
Hello.
Chris, are you? What do you want me to make you up as? Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln. Honest Abe. I don't tell lies.
Don't tell lies. Except for that time you were on Dog Walk, Owen. But we got Black Stallion on the ones and twos.
Wasn't Abraham Lincoln then?
I wasn't. You're right. That's fair. You're Chris then. Hit the like button. 5 7 podcast platforms. Something else.
He wasn't even Chris then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were. Yeah.
Finding myself, figuring some things out.
Yeah, I was finding myself. We're trying to change things around to a little bit more positive spirit. But again, if you want to call in and ruin that, just got to hit 169 likes. We're down for it. Spinny, you want to do a segment called the Game Ball?
Yes. I want everybody to hand out game balls to who they think deserves it, who they think was imperative in this team's win. And me and Easy will get 2. Black Stallion and Chris will get 1 each. My first game ball is going to Hank Fraley. Hank Fraley and what he did with this offensive line was just amazing. You think about this. He had a backup center in there, in Graham Glasgow, who looked amazing, by the way. 2 backup guards in Sorsdale and Yodi. And then a 3rd-string guard at one point where Skipper had to come in. A running back who people said can't run between the tackles. And they still go for 226 yards on the ground, combined Gibbs and Craig Reynolds, and 5.6 yards per carry. This man, Hank Fraley, is one of the best coaches on the coaching staff. He is making things happen. It is extremely impressive to see what he's doing with a constant rotation of players in his starting offensive line. It doesn't matter who's in there. He is getting the best out of them. They are making things happen, and they are leading these running backs to have great games. So I'm extremely impressed with the offensive line. I'm extremely impressed with how Hank Fraley is coaching these guys up and how he's got them humming.
My first game ball is going to go to the guy the guy running behind that offensive line. Now that's Jahmyr Gibbs. I believe it was, I don't know how many touches. I had 31 touches, but how many of them were carries versus how many were catches? I just know that he was getting busy with it every time he got the ball. And I didn't get this lowly Raiders team. Don't care. I still need to see it.
Yeah.
I'm still glad to have seen it. I'm sure everybody else listening is happy to have seen it too. You invested a 12th overall pick in this guy. You wanted to see something like this, and boy did he look special at times. And it wasn't more just like, it was beyond Ben Johnson's play calling. It was plays being made by Jahmyr Gibbs, your first round pick, your first pick in this 2023 draft. Fantastic. JB, game ball, who you got?
My game ball has to go to a guy who was also on my fantasy team, but helped me out a lot last night. Our boy, Sammy Laporta.
Sammy
Laporta. My man had 8 catches for 57 yards and a touchdown. Might have added, setting another record as well as a player who has had 3 catches and 35 yards in his first 8 career game starts, I believe. So, hats off to this guy right here, knocking off Ryan Lentz in a fantasy league. So,
Hell yeah. Eat shit, Ryan.
Hell yeah. Knocked that. He was the last undefeated, I believe,
Yep.
right? So good shit, JB. The Boosts know how to do it. My game ball is going to Kirby Joseph. And I know that's obvious because he got his first interception of the year, but you know what? That was a big deal. I think that was something that, this was a guy we were looking at as a potential Pro Bowler coming into season. And while he didn't have the statistical accolades you wanted in terms of interceptions, he was always good and efficient at tackles and stopping the run and helping out when necessary. Like he was just a great team defender, and you look at him as a star, as a playmaker, as a game breaker, and he hadn't gotten to show that until this game. And this game, he needed it too. That was a very timely interception. Remember, early in the game, the Lions were struggling to get it going. They were having these drives, and they were having to either punt it or settle for field goals. They weren't able to get into the end zone. And that place was, while it was electric, it was, you could feel the tension through the TV when we were watching it on the live stream. Kirby Joseph needed this play, and the Lions particularly needed this play. So it came at a huge time, at a huge point in the season. So Kirby Joseph gets my game ball. Keep it going. I think this is a string. I think this is one of many to start for him.
Yeah, my other game ball goes to what I think was the more important and the more impressive side of the football, and that was the defense, and I'm going to give it to Ali McNeil. This defense held the Raiders to 1 score. And I know it's Jimmy Garoppolo, he's shitty, he's not good, but they still completely took them out of the game.
But he went to a Super Bowl.
He's great. No, Jimmy Garoppolo's ass. And Ali McNeil was in his face the entire game. I believe he had 6 pressures on the night. He had 2 sacks. He was in the backfield. He was causing havoc. It was awesome to see. The Raiders don't have a good offensive line by any means. And Ali McNeil took advantage of that. He was back there making plays, making it happen. Shout out to Aleem. He played a fantastic game. Hopefully he can continue that level of play as the Lions go on because they're going to need him. They're going to need him. So I loved seeing that and also stopping the run. I mean, I know Josh Jacobs had one drive where he looked pretty good, and that was their scoring drive, where they basically drove down the middle of the field the whole way and punched it in the end zone. But outside of that, it was relatively tame. They held Josh Jacobs in contain. They made sure he didn't hurt him too bad after that one drive, and Aleem McNeil played a big role in that. So shout out to him.
Shout out to Lee McNeil. Shout out to the guy coaching Lee McNeil, and that's Aaron Glenn. A lot of people want patience, the plan. Who has been believing the patience and the plan more than me up until today? Not too many. A lot of you guys want AG fired. A lot of you guys want AG fired just as recently as last week. AG comes in with a brilliant game plan against, yes, a shittier Raiders team, but you don't allow that team to do dick against you. And they did just that. That one drive when they ran the ball down our throats was kind of like eye-opening and making me a little bit nervous there. But that was it. Just that one drive, that one touchdown. 10 completions made on a team that has a guy who has the third most touchdowns in the league in Jacoby Myers and Devontae freaking Adams. Now, some of them were drops, but maybe a little bit of footsteps too. Shout out to Aiden Hutchinson. The defense was dominant, as they should be against this Raiders team. Shout out to AG for stepping up.
You look like Draco Malfoy if you grew up in Southwest Detroit.
Born and raised in South Detroit.
This shit tickles. Anyway.
No, but the Raiders are a bad team. We talked about it, and the Lions went out there and dominated them. They did what they had to do. Chat, if you guys had a game ball to give out, who would you give it to? Because I think Gibbs is an easy target. Somebody we didn't mention was Amon-Ra St. Brown.
All right, so it's JB's second one, I
think.
Yeah,
Amon-Ra St. Brown went out there, and he had himself a performance.
Amon-Ra St. Brown was fluging. 94 yards in just the first half alone.
Yes.
And it was kind of weird. I saw actually there's comments, some people questioning Ben Johnson again, and I'm not mad at the play calling Ben Johnson. I think a lot of it was execution. I guess I was a little bit mad they went away from. Well, Jameer started off kind of out the gate running pretty well.
Yeah.
I know I said it took us time to get going, but he got going and talking about like making plays beyond just like the 5 yards and then falling down. They did temper away from that. There was a one play where Amon-Ra St. Brown that was supposed to be a pass. You know what I'm saying? And that would have been a touchdown. Sometimes, guys, you got to give credit to the other side of the ball.
Yeah.
Not everything's Ben Johnson sucks, AG sucks, Jared Goff sucks. Sometimes other guys step up and make plays. They're $1 million players over there too. And that was just one of those plays for the Las Vegas Raiders. But shout out to, will you say something, Chris?
Yeah, I have one more game ball, but go ahead, finish your point.
I forgot it, so that's why I was trying to head off for you real quick.
Okay, well, my last game ball goes to Brad Holmes because he had the foresight to watch Max Crosby come into his building, just wreak havoc all game. And he had the foresight and vision to realize that he didn't need another one of those. That he had the belief in what he has homegrown and inside. So I appreciate that. Game ball to you.
It looks like the chat's giving their game ball to Anzalone. Anzalone played a great game as
That's
well.
who I am today for Halloween.
Yeah.
Anzalone.
No, you're Draco Malfoy in Southwest Detroit. No, he.
Why is my camera so bright?
Anzalone made things happen. Again, a guy that had 2 sacks. They were blitzing all night because Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't move in the pocket and could not hit open receivers. So they were just sending people all night. And Anzalone was the benefactor of a couple of those. It was impressive to watch him play.
Yeah, again, to the Ben Johnson stuff, that's just what kind of was going with that one. I'm not disappointed with his play calling at all. Again, I think that was a little bit of execution thing with the Amon-Ra one.
That was open.
He was. It would have been a touchdown.
Yeah, easy touchdown.
Yeah, easy touchdown. The one, I guess you want to look at the situation where Jameson Williams got decapitated. Hello, Max Crosby. He's one of the best players in the NFL. He does those types of things.
And they didn't block him.
Yeah, I think Craig missed on that one.
Somebody must have missed because there's no way they're hey, let's run a sweep to Crosby's side and not block him.
Yeah, I think it was Craig was supposed to chip him, but at the same time, you really expected Craig to chip Max Crosby. And at some points, they had Sam Laporta trying to block Max Crosby. Actually, you know what I will say? There were times where they're trying to get too cute with the handling of Max Crosby. It's Max Crosby. He'll show some goddamn respect. That man's a beast. But I'm not banging on Ben Johnson for any of the play calling last night.
Yeah, me either. So shout out to the chat for giving their game ball to Alex Anzalone. He definitely deserves it.
Other situations too, like the fumbles, like that's not a Ben Johnson thing.
No.
Like Ben Johnson isn't calling up for a fumble on certain plays with Josh Reynolds, or the bullshit fumble with Craig Reynolds, or the pick six by Jared Goff.
Let me tell you guys about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work out to their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll be able to experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by, and there are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
When it comes to your pet, don't settle. Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations. Over 60 different brands of food. Lowest prices and curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best at www.premierpetsupply.com.
What up, and welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WordSports.com. I'm your boy Easy, joined by guys Spin More Rax.
What up,
Yo,
though?
Chris, JB Smooth. Smash that like button, 169 likes. We'll open up the phone lines, have some conversations. You guys want to bitch about Brad Holmes. You want to bitch about Spinny. You want to bitch about me. You want to bitch about Chris and his beard. Call in at 169 likes. Moving on. Get a game ball. Amon-Ra St. Brown, legend already. I think I already know what this is pertaining to.
Yeah.
I seen it creeping out there on social media. Through 40 games, Amon-Ra St. Brown is already ahead of one Calvin Johnson.
He is ahead of Calvin Johnson. Chris, do you have
Yes,
that
sir.
graphic for us? Through 40 games, Amon-Ra St. Brown has the most receiving yards in
I can see
team
why you
history
mix them up.
at 2,738. He passed Calvin Johnson, who had 2,694. He is the biggest steal of the draft in a long time. This is a fourth-round pick. This is a guy who is, there was like 16 receivers taken ahead of him or some crazy number like that. And Amon-Ra St. Brown is doing nothing but going out there and proving that he is a top 10 receiver in and out every single week. It's impressive to see him do it. It's impressive to see him catch everything, to get outside, to break tackles, to run down the field. He didn't get a touchdown, but he did get over 100 yards, man. This guy, Amon-Ra St. Brown, is one of the best Lions in a long time.
I've said just that. And, I said it before the season started. He's on pace to become the second best wide receiver in Detroit Lions history. And I was told I was being disrespectful to the likes of Herman Moore. No, this guy is on pace to beat Calvin Johnson. He is the best wide receiver in Detroit Lions history. And even Herman Moore would tell you that.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra is on pace to do just that. And I hope they lock him up, come next year, because it's going to be about that time.
They're going to. There's no doubt in my mind. If this team does not, I will swear off of it. Like, if you don't keep Amon-Ra in Detroit for the rest of his career, I will be extremely embarrassed.
I mean, the guy looks... man, I hate bagging on Brad Holmes because I loved him so much at one time. It feels like a breakup almost, but, I mean, the guy's...
It's not you, it's him.
The guy's playing pretty fucking cheap.
Yep.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is the top 10 wide receiver. He may want...
He's going to cost $20+ million a year.
And I don't know if Brad's going to want to give it to him.
He better. He would have a mutiny on his hand if he didn't pay Amon-Ra St. Brown.
They're gonna pay Amon-Ra
I
St. Brown.
think you're going a little too far with it.
Am I? I mean, this Chase Young was available for a 3rd round pick.
I believe he's going to pay Amon-Ra St. Brown.
He didn't pay Goff yet,
Well, I mean,
and he's the whole reason any of this is happening.
Yeah.
None of this would happen without Jared Goff.
it's true.
He's got the defense going. He's got Jahmyr Gibbs going.
He's got the other team's defense going.
He's drawing up the entire offense. It's all him.
Yeah.
Definitely got the our team's defense going.
Definitely got their team's defense going. Marcus Peters with a pick 6 in year 17. However, I mean, that's an older. Reminded me we need some cornerback depth. And I just re-pissed myself off. God damn.
It only took 17 seconds for him to run into the end zone, too.
Yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Oh, dude, Goff. Shout out to Goff. I'm bouncing
Yeah.
back from that.
He tried to make.
But his display of athleticism on that play.
Dude, Penne.
When he tried to tackle,
Penei was hawk.
Penne was closing in like a fucking killer whale, dude.
I don't know if Marcus was closing down or Penei was just like a dog like that. But at the same time, I was like, yo, Penei, relax. I don't want you pulling anything.
Yeah.
On like what's going to end up at the 1st yard line anyway. I don't want none of that. But Penei was a dog. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 20 mil. I'm not even mad at it. He's definitely
he deserves it,
Because
and he
here's the
should
part
get-
too. When they went away from running with Jahmyr, which was a weird. I'll mention that to the Ben Johnson stuff. If
Mm-hmm.
people want to question him a little bit, they did go off of just feeding Jahmyr nonstop, which I get. You can't do that all game, but you have in the past, and it was successful, and they did so later on in the game. But the passing, once it finally did get going,
Yeah.
St. Brown.
Yes.
St. Brown, St. Brown, St. Brown, St. Brown. Like he is just he revives you in those dead moments. Always. That's why it's a 3rd down, 3rd and long, 3rd and 5, whatever it is. The guy they find, St. Brown.
Yeah.
St. Brown. St. Brown.
He's the security blanket. He is one of the top 3 best players on this team. It's extremely impressive to watch him do this in and out consistently. Every time he's in there, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get 6 to 10 catches. You're going to get about 100 yards, and you might get a touchdown. Like, the guy is the pinnacle of consistency. He's one of the best receivers in the league, and I'm excited to see him play in Honolulu Blue for a long time.
1,000,000%. And we got a poll up right now. 169 likes. Game open phone lines. Free Scott. Gain and leverage. Shout out to Scott Klingler.
Shut up. Let Scott call.
39% going on Holmes. I'm glad to know I'm not just like a.
Seems like nobody's coming for me. That's
No
pretty
one's.
cool.
Yeah, only 5%.
Shout out.
Listen to the 27% out there. Share the stream. I don't want that smoke. Let me hear what you got. Because you can't explain your way out of this one. It was a bad day for Detroit. Yesterday, good day, excellent day for Detroit Lions.
Yesterday was a great day.
Today
I slept
around 3:30, not so much.
Not a great day.
Not a great day.
Was not happy.
There's so many more implications
This is
around
supposed
it,
to
man.
be such a good show. Imagine if we got.
Oh man, that's what I'm saying. This is my son's birthday. I was like, F it. I'll come in. What if we get Chase Young? I'm gonna be mad if I don't come in to celebrate getting Chase Young. I'll be mad if we come in and don't get to celebrate grabbing a X piece of cornerback depth. Maybe Marcus Peters out there. Nope.
Now you're just a POS.
Nah, I'm just a pissed off blonde guy with a freaking dingy Detroit Tigers hoodie because I didn't even want to wear the Lions today. I was so pissed off.
Southwest Malcolm.
I unfollowed them on Twitter.
Draco. Southwest Malfoy.
Southwest Malfoy.
Yeah.
Did you hear me though? I unfollowed the Lions on Twitter.
I'm like Jeffrey Dahmer if he ate a little too many of his victims.
If he was a little too good at his
If
job.
he was a little too good at hunting people down.
Oh shit.
Did you see Flannel break down on the morning show?
No, why?
Oh, Neil called in.
Neil called in?
Yeah.
And what happened?
He was talking about Hutch not needing help. Like how he's sick of hearing the Hutch needs help when the Lions have more sacks than the 49ers and the Browns. And
The Lions played shit teams.
Yeah.
Hutch needs help.
Flannel fell apart. It was... He did not.
What was Flannel's argument against it?
He kept bringing up J-Mo.
Oh, that's not how you argue that.
No, yeah, it was
I mean, the argument I would make is like Hutch can get it in against these bad teams. Against a Baltimore Ravens, nothing, nada.
Andrew Jones in the Woodward Sports chat. He says Chase Young has more sacks than Hutch, and y'all calling him trash.
Yeah, those are the auteurs, the Detroit supremacies,
The
The
Broussards.
Broussards. Those are the Broussards in the chat.
the Broussards in
they
the
live in their own separate la-la land. The Detroit Lions are on pace to win a freaking Super Bowl if you ask those people.
Is it snowing right now?
I don't know if it's snowing.
I heard it was going to.
Dude, I fucking hate Michigan, bro.
What a day.
Dude, it was 75 like 3 days ago, 4 days ago. And then people go, oh, well, that's Michigan. I used to think, all right, that's old people talk. But now it's like No, that
absolutely.
really is what it is.
Nope,
yeah,
no,
I
it's
just never
40
thought my life
flurries.
was gonna be boring enough to where I like cared like that. But here we are.
30 more likes. We'll open
Exciting.
up the phone lines.
30 more likes and the phone lines will be open. You guys could talk all the talk you want.
About the weather.
Only 4% spinning. I feel like you were going in the most chatters to begin the show.
People get me.
You're a complex man.
I'm a man of the people. We
You are a
understand
man of
me.
people.
I'm an old soul.
You be pandering to these weirdos sometimes. I get it. I get it. Shit day. It's really cold outside. By the way, Neil did say one thing that I actually agreed with. Move Halloween up. It is too cold for these damn kids to be outside right
Fuck
now.
them kids, bro.
It
Kids
is-
don't
it is
even go
wild.
trick-or-treating anymore.
My kid's going trick-or-treating tonight, and I wish it wasn't this
You
goddamn
can
cold.
drive them around.
I'm not driving him around. He's going old school. I'm getting a pillowcase, too. All these cute little buckets. Brother, you know how much candy can fit in a pillowcase over these little plastic buckets?
Yeah.
Fill up my case. And that's the other thing, too.
Oh, the pillowcase.
When you bring the case,
Pillowcase was always the move.
and it looks like kind of empty, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like they feel obligated to give you more. Like
Yeah.
it's pillowcase all day.
Also, you gotta have the wagon with a
Hey,
little,
yo.
you know, with a little relax.
Yeah,
Well,
relax.
dicky
You gotta
on
have,
you, you know what
you
I'm
gotta have
saying?
the wagon with a little drink, with a little brewski when you're walking.
Shift God says Seabirds in the wild card.
See, us facing the Seabirds in the wild card, we're cooked. We're cooked.
That'd be a worst case
Cooked.
scenario.
Cooked.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll,
That would
I've
be-
been saying this before the trade deadline.
That's
Pete
why we
Carroll
need the number one
owns
seed.
Dan Campbell. They added Leonard Williams to that too. It's really disappointing, man. Because again, the implications of like the future, implications of like this year specifically.
Yeah.
Like, what do you then? You don't believe in this team? Then you know what I'm saying? Which I guess I kind of get, because a certain standpoint, I don't believe this team to go past a certain standpoint too. We kind of I mentioned it all year. It's like, hey, secondary depth or another piece on that line, and then I'll discuss going past the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Or at least that first game. If there's one way to tailor it around Jared Goff, it's been the way the Rams did it. Grab every fucking thing.
Yep.
And put them around him. And the Detroit Lions didn't do that. So I don't know. The only way they're going to flirt around winning the playoff game beyond week one against a shitty team that doesn't deserve to be there, because the NFC absolutely sucks, let's be real about it, is if we get the home field advantage.
Need the home field
we are
advantage.
absolutely healthy. Because for some reason, getting another wide receiver was, pertinent to get done. That blows my fucking mind.
Need the home
That is the
field
one room they want to address with the fucking wide receivers. That's insane, bro.
I'd have rather than not made a move.
Jared Goff is like 2,000 yards right now. You want to address the wide receiver depth? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
14 likes away. Fuck it, open them up. We got somebody, JB?
Yeah, we do actually.
Let's get it.
Salty still holding
Let's
on?
get it.
Yep, here is
Breaking the
Salty
rules.
for you guys.
Salty, what's going on, brother?
Yo, fellas,
What up, man?
it's a great day, boys.
Ah.
Let me cheer y'all up. Listen, let me cheer y'all up, boys. Let me tell you why I'm so excited, okay? One time in the last 70-plus years have we been favorites to win the division. We have so much young talent on this team, boys. We got Hutch. We got your boy Laporta, all right? We got Gibbs. We got all this young talent. When's the last time we've ever had this much young talent on this team?
Not a long time.
Never. We never had it, bro. Never. When was the last time we won a division?
We've never won the NFC North.
Okay, there you go. 2002, they restructured the division. We never won it. That's 21 years, man. We never won it. Now we're picked to win the division. Look how privileged we are in the last year, boys. We came from 3 wins to this. So now we're privileged to where, we're the favorite. We're beating these bum-ass teams. We were the bum-ass team.
You know, Salty,
You know,
I appreciate what you're
just
trying to
wanna
do,
let y'all know,
man.
boys.
I do.
Listen, boys.
This division was already wrapped up. They were already going to win this division. This division consists of the Lions and 3 of the worst 7 teams in the NFL. It's not an accomplishment
but
to win this division this year.
No, it's a huge accomplishment, boys. And let me tell you why. And look, I know you guys are upset about the trade. Look, we don't need, and let me break it down for you. We don't need anybody else on this team. For one, pass rushers, we're good, boys. We haven't even seen the best of Kaminsky yet, for one. We got our boy coming off injured reserve. That's another pass rusher. We got people loaded in there going to come in and help us later on. But I want to explain to you why these teams are making moves. The 49ers went out and got Chase Young. You know why? Because they're in a 3-game skid, boys. They lost 3 games in a row. They might not even win. They might not even make the playoffs. Can you imagine?
Come on,
Come
Salty.
on.
Come on.
But come on.
They're
Have you
making the
seen Brock
playoffs.
Purdy? Have you seen Brock Purdy, bro? Come on, man. He's
Salty,
throwing more
come
picks
on,
than
man.
golf.
Have you seen who they
I can't
got
believe
coming
it.
off injury? I know you said we're getting healthy. They got Trent Williams and Debo Samuel coming back to that team.
Yeah.
I get it. But I'm just letting you boys know. We are the top of the division. We are the cream of the crop. They got to come to Detroit to play us, man. We are the top of the league right now in the NFC, and they're going to have to come to Detroit to play us, and it's never been like that. So why mess it up, man?
Appreciate you calling in, man.
Guys, I appreciate you guys, man, having this show, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all do a good job, man.
Thank
Salty.
you, man. Appreciate you calling in, Salty. Whew. I mean, I wish I could have the kind of optimism he has. I do. It's like I said, they're winning the division. The division was already wrapped up. They were going to win the division already. So I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to have
man. Josh Dobbs in that motherfucker.
Josh Dobbs,
Now
look out. But let me tell you guys about Hamlin Pub. Have you ever wanted a bar where you're a regular? We have just the place for you. Head to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone's a regular. And join the Woodward Sports Lions post-game show. Oh, no, never mind. Don't do that. Hamlin Pub. They got multiple offers. They got half-price pizza on Tuesdays. Go down there and get some half-price pizza. They have different food offers for all sports games and all football games. Make sure you check out Hamlin Pub where everyone's a regular.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
BullseyeEventGroup.com. Make sure you guys head over to the website and purchase your tailgate tickets to party with the Woodward Heavyweights and the rest of Woodward Sports. There'll be free drinks with those tickets and free food. I repeat, free drinks and free food, and they'll shelter you guys over to the game afterward, because I know you're going to be a little bit boozed up, a little bit too full. You're not able to make the walk, not able to make the drive. They're going to shuttle you guys over there. Make sure you sign up at BullseyeEventGroup.com or DM Lions VIP to Woodward Sports IG for free tickets. What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm easy at Spinmo Rax. Danny Raxter, Kung Fu Chris in the building, and we have JB Smooth on the ones and twos. Shout out Salty for calling in, try to cheer the boys up. I'm hurt. Yeah. It is what it is. Like Spinny said, I'm in agreement with you, Spinny. We had the division wrapped up. Mm-hmm. Even with Kirk Cousins healthy, I really felt confident this division was ours. I mean,
me too.
For Christ's sakes, for the past 2 weeks, we've been talking about getting the number 1 overall seed, which now is more important than ever if you didn't address certain things I felt needed to be addressed, that being just the defense in general. I think the defense is good. Obviously, I'm Mr. Defend the Glenn. I love Aaron Glenn, but when it comes to facing the elite of the elite, you just need to match that energy. You need to have another playmaker out there. I saw somebody in the Woodward Sports chat mention, okay, if Chase Young's such a game breaker, then why the Commanders suck? The Commanders still afloat. I'll give that. The other thing, too, coaching matters. Coaching is key. I believe in the coaching. Do you? Because we've had Calvin Johnson on this team, and we sucked. Did that mean Calvin Johnson wasn't a game breaker? Because I'd slap you in the mouth for saying that. Matthew Stafford didn't win a single playoff game here in the Detroit Lions uniform. Went to somewhere with a lot better coaching than Sean McVay and won a Super Bowl in the very first year he touched the field. Coaching is something we have here that we've never had. Now, I want to stack that coaching alongside with talent, but we got a phone caller on the line. JB, who we got?
Yeah, we got a couple calls here. I will send you DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf.
Hello?
What up, man?
What's going on?
Not Metcalf. Not Metcalf, but yeah, DK is my name. But it's been real easy. What's up, guys? I've been watching you guys for a long time. I fuck with you guys heavy.
Appreciate you calling in, man.
Yeah. But I what I was going to call about was I kind of felt like this was going to happen, you know? Like, every time we play a mid-tier, low-level quarterback, we get, like, 5 sacks in the game. And then we think our defense is good. And then next thing you know, we play a playoff-caliber quarterback, and we can't pressure him, like, one time. So, like, going into, like, the trade deadline, I felt like, you know, we weren't going to do anything, especially today. I kept, like, refreshing my page, like, every 5 minutes. Nothing was popping up. I do felt like we did need a receiver, though. Donovan Peoples-Jones, he's pretty good, but
you like him?
I don't know what you guys think. Yeah.
I like the trade. I like the trade for Donovan Peoples-Jones for sure.
Yeah, I like Donovan Peoples-Jones a lot too. In some ways, it may reflect on their expectations of JMO, because I know DBJ could take a deep every once in a while. I think he's got the longer body. You know what he fulfills? I'm not even going to make it to the JMO thing. He fulfills like what you lost in DJ Chark.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I like DBJ a lot.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. No, I do like him for sure. I watched him in Michigan. Yeah, for sure. I love him.
Yeah, I love Donovan Peoples-Jones. Don't get me wrong. I was just so much more butthurt about like the actual thing that felt like it needed to be addressed, which was like the defense. How do you feel about that?
Oh man! Oh my gosh! If we just trade Chase Young for a 3rd round, we couldn't give a 3rd round pick for Chase Young. Oh my gosh! Like, imagine him like aside from like Hutch. Like, oh my gosh, that would have been amazing. But you know, it's all good. I feel like maybe they just think that James Houston can come back and like fill in that role.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I want to win now. I don't want to win next year. I want to win now.
I'm with you. Hey, DK, I appreciate you calling in, man. That's a great call. And I mean, you made a great point and something I forgot about. And I know Spinny mentioned it a little bit earlier in the show, but I mean, Houston is possibly of him coming back in December.
Mm-hmm.
I think in November he's clear enough to start rehabbing and stuff like that. I mean, we'll see. Obviously, we all very high on James Houston, think he can do incredible things, and maybe that's a point that I'm forgetting. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Shout out to DK.
Appreciate you calling in, DK.
Hey, thank you guys, man. Appreciate you guys.
Who else we got, JB?
Here, I will send you guys Steve.
Steve. What up, Steve?
What's up, guys?
What's going on, man?
Oh, man, it has been a long day. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Very disappointed. Very disappointed. Just the fact that a lot of people are saying, oh, we got next year. You don't understand. We have the Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, Eagles, Cowboys. They're all coming. And, like, we did nothing. This was our easiest path to get to where we've been wanting to go for forever. And it's like, now they're saying, oh, well, next year. It's like, next year, we might not be in the position we're in right now. Brad Holmes, it screams that, you know, he garners those picks more than, you know, a proven commodity. To where I just don't know what he's thinking.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. It's next year. I hate reading that stuff for all the very same reasons. And another thing we may not have next year. I mean, we talk about Ben Johnson. That's the obvious one. But, you know, Spinney gave out a game ball to Frank Haley.
Mm-hmm. Hank
Fraley, I always do that.
Yeah.
But he may be gone too. There's multiple members of the staff that could be gone. I look at Calvin Shepard maybe being one of those guys. Aaron Glenn may be in the conversation at certain places. I mean, you never know. I mean, we already lost a guy, our running backs coach. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Deuce Staley, and a lateral change.
Yeah,
just to be closer to home. Like it's next year. I'm not here for next year. I don't know if I'm going to be alive next year. I want my cake and I want it now.
Yeah, it's my money and I want it now.
And that's the thing, is that they're presenting this thing to us on a silver platter to where we're like, just reach out and grab it, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know what? I'll wait. I'm like, we had filet mignon. We had a chance to get filet mignon, and we chose rump roast. No offense to Donovan Peoples-Jones, but we all know golf takes forever to build chemistry with a wide receiver. We could have had a defensive end that is lighting it up with Hutch right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially when, you know, we're going against lesser teams. The only thing that, you know, we really have to worry about would be the Chargers and Cowboys. And then when we get into the playoffs. And now when we get into the playoffs, because clearly that's going to happen, we got that locked up, should have it locked up. Anyways, is when we get there, are we going to be like, oh, well, that was a fun ride.
Steve spitting.
Yeah, appreciate you calling
Great
in,
call,
Steve.
Steve. I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely, guys. Love you.
Yeah, I love you too, man. Another thing too, with we had 2 third-round picks. The people are like, oh, keep the draft capital. You use the draft capital at your dispense and as a weapon. We had two third-round picks.
Yeah.
And if Chase Young walked, you have the possibility to get another one back. It is what it is. It's over. Just hurt. Don't think they made the right call. I don't know if they made any calls. JB, you got anybody else?
Oh, yeah, we got a couple people here.
Oh, I apologize.
I will send you all the way from Traverse City. Here's Bigums.
Bigums, how you feeling, man?
You know, I'm here to cheer you guys up because I don't think you guys are looking at the facts. Because when I look at the current NFC playoff picture, right now, the Detroit Lions have had the hardest strength of schedule of any NFC playoff team, and they have the second highest strength of victory. And meanwhile, you look at the defensive stats, we give up the 7th fewest yards per game, and we're only 8.5 yards from being the 3rd fewest yards per game. And in reality, if you look at the games where we were up by 3 touchdowns and gave up about 300 yards of junk time and 2 touchdowns, we should be the 2nd fewest yards per game and about the 3rd fewest points per game when we've got the hardest strength of schedule in the NFC for any playoff team currently. So how are we doing so poorly? You guys aren't looking at the facts. You're using that same old Lions mindset, when in reality, we're playing harder teams than the Eagles. We're winning just as well. Our defense is performing better than everyone, and we're giving up bullshit yards, 150 passing yards to rookie Bryce Young and Jordan Love, and a touchdown pass.
We have the hardest strength of schedule?
Of any NFC playoff team currently, the 7 teams that would make the playoffs currently, we have the hardest strength of schedule at 500.
You talking about the season?
I'm looking at
going into the season.
I'm talking about what we've played so far. We keep saying we haven't beat anybody, but we've played. Hey, I'm looking at the stats right now in front of me on ESPN. Our strength of schedule so far, who we've played is 500. The Eagles' strength of schedule is 452. I mean, we've had a harder schedule. You say the 49ers. The 49ers got crowned.
How many playoff teams? Can I ask you though, real quick? Just like how many playoff teams have Detroit Lions played this year? Like teams.
Well, up until this week, Tampa Bay was a playoff team. We've played the Chiefs, who are a playoff team. The Atlanta Falcons are a playoff team. The Seahawks are a playoff team. We've actually played a lot of playoff teams.
Tampa Bay and Atlanta won't both be playoff teams. There's only going to be one out of that division, so I'll give you one of them if you don't think it's going to be the Saints. Seattle is a playoff team. We lost to them, and Kansas City.
We beat ourselves against Seattle with 14 points on turnovers and not going for the touchdown at the end of the game. But then we look at the 49ers, they were crowned at 5-0. They played Pittsburgh, who has a quarterback everyone hates and they want to fire their offensive coordinator. They played the Rams, who are the youngest roster in the league and rebuilding. They played the Giants with a terrible team. They played Arizona, who was tanking for the first pick. And they played Dallas, who's beaten nobody but the Jets, the Giants, and the Cardinals, who are tanking.
Dallas is a good team.
So you guys look at, but Dallas is such a good team, yet they've had a much easier schedule than us, and we give up the same yards per game, and we're giving up bullshit yards because we're up 21 points.
Okay, do you think the Detroit Lions are a better team than the Eagles or the 49ers?
Bigums for sure.
I think the Detroit Lions are much better than the 49ers. We match up very well against the 49ers because the 49ers' weakness is the run game, and our strength is the run game, and their weakness on offense is the deep threat, and our weakness on defense is the deep threat. We match up perfectly against the 49ers. The Eagles will be a struggle, but then over the last 2 seasons, the Lions average the most points per game at home with, I think, 32.1. So if we get that number 1 seed, which is fully possible looking at the upcoming schedule, we can beat the Eagles. Because I think the Eagles' next 6 games are Dallas, Kansas City, Buffalo, San Francisco, Dallas, and Seattle. They could easily lose 2 of those games.
I do think if there's any of those heavy hitters the Lions do match up well with, it is the 49ers I'd pick. Not anymore now that they have Chase Young. I don't feel the same going into that one. But I think you're looking at these teams and you're kind of just missing the things that they've done on top of winning those games. I get you look at the schedule. I believe it was the 49ers broke down with Arizona, Giants, Rams, and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a damn good team. They just haven't really been healthy. I mean, the quarterback included, they were kind of shitting out. But that defense is phenomenal. I look at the teams we beat. The ones I like the most that we played against, I'm talking about just in like terms of like strength that you brought up, Chiefs, Ravens, Seattle, we're 1-2. And the game that we did win against the Chiefs, by the way, Patrick Mahomes not the same this year without Eric Bieniemy, and they're missing both Travis Kelce and Chris Jones. I'm not confident in this team competing amongst the heavy hitters just in the games we've seen against the heavy hitters. And the Seattle game was at home too. That's supposed to swing our way, and it didn't, and they got better on top of that.
Boys, you need to have faith that what's important is that we hit full stride when the playoffs start, and that's what we're on course to do. We talk about the 49ers. Trent Williams is like 35 years old. He's going to get hurt again. Devo, Kittle, CMC, they're all brittle. They're going to get hurt again. Purdy, it seems he's pretty brittle. He keeps getting concussions every week. We're good to go to make the NFC Championship game, and the most important thing is that we get the number 1 seed and host it.
That is
extremely important. Bigums, I appreciate you calling in, man. I can't base it off of all of them are going to get hurt. I can't base us beating a team.
I didn't say they're all going to get hurt, but it seems that when they lose 1 or 2 guys, they completely fall apart.
That's fair. Bigums, appreciate you calling in, man. Appreciate you calling in.
Have faith. Trust the plan.
Plan's at a dead red light stop.
Tell us about Fairway Easy. That was
Fairway Pack Company.
That was something.
What? I'll let you address when we get back. Fairway Packaging got the best meat in town. All right. Michigan's finest hotels, restaurants, casinos. They all go to Fairway Pack Company. You should go to Fairway Pack Company too. Visit them at fairwaypacking.com or 313-332-5114. fairwaypacking.com.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then, she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
How would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. You can do that with Syntron. It's the Syntron Energy. Drink it and live it. All you have to do is purchase a 24-pack and enter for your chance to win. You can do that at drinksyntron.com/Vegas and buy Syntron at your local Meijer store. It's Syntron, the healthier energy drink with great taste for the people who desire to look good, feel good, and be the best versions of themselves. Go to drinksyntron.com/Vegas for more information.
Check it out.
Double rip.
Shout out to Biggins calling in. Try to cheer the boys up. Hit a like button. 5-star review on all podcast platforms. Lions teams they've beaten, majority of teams they've beaten, cupcakes.
Yes.
It's like a Michigan schedule. The teams they've gone up against that projected being in the playoffs or were previously in the playoffs, you lost to outside the KC Chiefs. We're again missing Travis Kelce, Chris
and
Jones.
Maybe the Bucks. Atlanta's not a playoff team, but maybe the Bucks. I think it's going to be New Orleans, but the Bucks.
Anybody coming out of the South,
could sneak.
man. I'm not counting
I don't think
anybody
it's
out,
going to
but
be
I'm
Atlanta.
also not respecting anybody coming out of the South as well. Like it's the Saints were the ones. I mean, even the Ravens heading into the game against us. A lot of people pointed their schedule. Oh, they didn't beat anybody. They didn't beat anybody. But it's like there's levels, man. Like there's. and we fortunately ran into them. And I mean,
I'm not going to say they're much better than the 49ers, and I'm not going to base their able to beat the 49ers off of maybe Trent Williams gets hurt again, maybe Deebo Samuel gets hurt again, maybe Brock Purdy gets hurt again. Like, can't do that.
One thing Bigham said that I 100% agree on is the number one overall seed.
That is imperative.
Number one seeded, yeah. It needs
and they have the ability to do it. They have the easiest schedule remaining out of any NFC contender. So they got to go out there and take care of business. They need home field advantage.
I mean, you go back to the Ravens game specifically, and you look at Jared Goff and the bit of wind. I think it was like 20 miles per hour that day. It's not going to work. It's not going to work in our favor. It has to be at home. I mean, even last night, a couple of wobblers out there that Amon-Ra made plays on. Obviously, you'd like some better placement on some of the balls that J-Mo had his way, but I still feel like a lot of those are catchable balls. That's why I feel the way I do about him. Actually, let's speak about that next, Spinny. Jameson Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm not ready to move on in the sense of, like, I don't want him anymore. I love J-Mo. I like having him here. I think he's an explosive player. But I'm ready to accept him as what I've seen him as. And it's just inconsistent.
Yes.
He's very talented. He has the game-breaking speed. But I don't know if he's going to bring you the game itself consistently. He gets knocked off his routes every once in a while. When the ball gets his way, designed his way, the way you asked for it actually last week, it drops those opportunities every now and then. At this point, I'm ready to accept it as what it is. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we still have Ben Johnson, who draws up amazing play calls. And Jameson Williams is still a weapon in those play calls. Just I don't know if I can count on him 100%, 80% of the time to make those plays.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's getting harder and harder to defend him for sure. Like, you got to make these catches. You got to. I know it wasn't an easy catch. That wasn't the easiest catch in the world to make, but you still got to make that catch. It was put on you. It was put behind you. And I know how fast he is that it's hard for him to stop and turn around it. But like, you got to make that catch, man. You can only defend the guy for so long. I do think he's going to be good. I'm not jumping off the bridge yet, but. Man, it's tough. He made a nice catch in traffic, and that was good. He was set up for failure on the reverse attempt. I talked about how that was like I feel like that was like the longest yard, like when they stopped blocking for Adam Sandler when he comes back in after trying to fix the game.
Yeah.
And they just stopped blocking and let him get hit because, like, yeah, let's run a sweep to Max Crosby's side, but nobody touch him. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just putting a hit out on J-Mo. But, I mean, it's tough, man. It's tough to say, like, what else are you going to say? He had a bad drop. He's got to catch the ball. I need to see him catch the ball consistently.
Is what it is at this point. And hey, I would love to be proven wrong. Like, don't get that wrong. This isn't hate. This is me just coming to grips with what I perceive as reality when it comes to Jameson Williams and what he is at the NFL level. He's going to be there for us every once in a while. He's had those type of games. I guess I'm curious, and real quick actually, because I do want to ask you this, JB, but Sam Reynolds, a.k.a. Flannel Sam in the Woodward Sports Chat, mentions the quarterbacks that the Lions have played. Because I know Biggin's called in with the strength of schedule comment. Here's 5 of them. And we're what, 6-2? So 5 of these quarterbacks we faced were Desmond Ridder.
Trash.
Jordan Love.
Trash.
Bryce Young.
Trash.
Baker Mayfield.
Trash.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Trash.
Not really an
5
athlete.
of the things.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that we were beating these world beaters. There's in 2021 when we first started here at Woodward Sports, I had maybe it was last year even, questionable quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I had the whole list. I'm like, winnable game, that guy's questionable game. Winnable game, that guy's questionable. We're past these. They're still questionable.
Mm-hmm.
But the Detroit Lions, the team, are at the point where they're supposed to smash these teams.
And they are.
These trash
and they are.
quarterbacks. And they are.
Which is good.
I can't pretend that those 5 quarterbacks. I mean, this defense is, as much as I love to defend Aaron Glenn, I can't pretend that they're going to survive the Patrick Mahomes, the Lamar Jacksons, and Geno Smith. What the fuck am I? But it's the reality of it.
It's the reality. We'll see what happens in LA. Coming off a bye, they're going to LA to play Justin Herbert and the Chargers.
Yeah,
that is a team that's reeling. That's a team you don't know what you're going to get out of them week by week. But Justin Herbert is a very good quarterback, and they've got some great skill players. So we'll see what they can do. It's going to be a good test for them. It's going to be a much better test than the Raiders for sure. I'll tell you what. If they do what they did against the Raiders, they're not going to beat the Chargers. You're not going to beat the Chargers if you turn the ball over 3 times.
Facts. I mean, that's how bad the Raiders are.
They should have beat the Raiders by 25 points.
Yeah.
but they turned the ball over 3 times. And like I said, that doesn't happen in the NFL where you turn the ball over 3 times and you win by double digits. They're lucky they were playing the Raiders on that one, but because they dominated that game. They easily should have won that game. They easily could have won that game by 21-plus points. But turnovers play a factor. So I expect them to go out there. I do expect them to beat the Chargers. I hope they beat the Chargers. It's gonna be a good test though. They got a whole week to prep for them, 2 weeks to prep for them. I expect them to come up with a good game plan, go out there and beat the Los Angeles Chargers.
Mark Royal, Young trash now. Before everyone at WSN wanted to draft Young. Young was over Goff. I actually switched my stance on Young, and I wanted C.J. Stroud, which I feel pretty good about.
Yeah, Stroud looks pretty damn good.
Also, I mean, Mark, you know I'm a big rookie contract guy, but JB, you're the voice of reason. You never fly off the handle too much. A little overly positive sometimes, you know. Can you not be as positive?
Sometimes.
You know,
Yeah.
but I guess from the trade deadline to the strength of schedule to even the Jameson Williams topic, where you at today with some of these stuff we've been talking about?
I mean, I know today's kind of a rough day to go through. We're supposed to be happy. We're supposed to be excited that, hey, Lions just got a win yesterday. It's primetime Monday Night Football. You're honoring Lomas Brown. The defense went out there and basically did their job, demolished the Raiders. But then you turn around to Tuesday and, you know, no action is really happening. I know we're all upset, but there are positives to hang your hat on. You can be proud of this team right now and the success that they've had so far. So that's something you can hang your hat on and hope for the potential of the future of the rest of the season to go our way, to go well. But as far as the trade deadlines go, yeah, it sucks because now Chase Young is over here with the 49ers, and you're basically kind of praying for both the 49ers' downfall and Chase Young's downfall as well, too, to hope that they don't have success, which I don't know. If you're pairing him with Nick Bosa as well, too, it's kind of a scary combination. I don't personally like that, but then again, do we still have faith and trust in Brad Holmes that we can sit here and just take a step back and breathe and be like, we're at least going to do something in this playoff run?
I do have faith in Brad Holmes still. Like I said, I'm not jumping off the bandwagon. I'm not saying fire anybody or anything like that. I got faith in Brad Holmes still. I said this multiple times. They're going to win the division still. I expect them to win a playoff game still. But I think they missed out on an opportunity this year to be real deal competitors in this division.
I think I lost in
this conference.
My Super Bowl level of confidence, though.
Aspiration.
Yeah,
I did too.
There's a guy, Brian Perry, JB. Do you know which line that was? He's bitching up a storm in the chat. I wanted to get him on. I'm unfamiliar face in the chat. I don't know if he's got smoke. I don't know what he's got. But
I got him right here. You guys want him?
Well, let's go to break first, and then we'll bring Brian on. We got to go to break right now.
Brian got dunked on.
Let me tell you guys about Lady. Hey, man.
That's Spinny's call.
It's the schedule, man. 6:38. There's a break. Let me tell you about Lady Jane's. Come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Guys, Five Iron Golf is the best sports bar in downtown Detroit. Not only do they have the games on, I think people forget sports bar. They have the games on there, plus 13 track meet simulators, certified instructors, and most importantly, a full bar and restaurant. Make sure you guys tee up good times at 5irongolf.com. What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WorldSports.com. Like button, 5-star review, all that good stuff. Brian Perry, can we get my man on the line?
I got you. Here is Brian.
Here's
Brian. How you feeling, man?
What up, man?
How's she go? That's what we say in the UP.
How's it go? It's like we say what up, though, here. They say how's it go there.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
She go. What up, though?
What's going on?
No, there's no smoke. I don't know what smoke means because I'm turning 41 on Saturday, but I agree with you guys. It does feel like we shut it down today. It feels like we shut it down. And I want to go to Spenny's point, like, we didn't have Frank, we didn't have Jonah, we didn't have Palapuli. So, do you think that's the reason why we shut it down? Like, we don't have a power running game? What do you think about that?
No, I don't think
Appreciate
so.
you calling in, Brian.
Yeah, I don't
Appreciate
think
being
so.
patient.
I think they'll be able to go out there. These guys are going to be healthy. They'll get, they got 2 weeks off. They got a bye week, and then they got a whole week until they got to play the Chargers. So I think they're going to get their guys back. Frank will be healthy. Monty will be healthy. Hopefully Jonah will be healthy, and they'll be ready to go.
Oh, actually,
I love that Fournette idea.
Leonard Fournette?
I love that Fournette. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he went to the Bills.
We should have had that.
But I'm good with the running backs how they are. Like, I expect Monty to be back by the Chargers. And with Monty, Gibbs, and Craig Reynolds, I'm pretty solid with what we got in that backfield.
Brian, my take on it, this is the one I kind of wanted to closet a bit there because it is controversial. I know I'm definitely receiving hate on this, but it is what it is. But last night during Monday Night Football, you saw Dan Campbell in an interview with, I don't even remember her name, I apologize for that, but he kind of broke himself down to tears thinking about the journey to here, which, again, haven't done shit yet.
Mm-hmm.
We saw him last year after 2 years ago. Was it last year or 2 years ago? We lost to the Vikings in similar situation.
Yeah.
Broke himself down to tears. There's also an interview with the Brad Holmes and Danny Rogers on the Lions YouTube channel where he broke himself down to tears.
Said he cries too much? No.
When I was pissed off, Spinny, I'm not going to lie. Is there an over-attachment to these players where he's not willing to bring in another piece to knock them out of their spot or willing to put them on the block to move on? Even players like Will Harris, is there an over-attachment to these guys where you just have to mix some of the good with the bad, where Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell are going to be this way, in some ways overly emotional about the pieces they've acquired to build this dream with? That is a thought that came in my head at the deadline where we didn't make a move for one of these guys.
Yeah, that's one thing Brad Holmes, Dan
Brian,
Campbell
appreciate you calling in, man.
said.
Appreciate you calling in, Brian.
He said, remember it was a clip of, I believe it was the Tampa Bay win, when he said, we have the right guys in this locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And if we all stick together and work hard, I promise you we'll go where we want to go. Those are his exact words. So, while a lot of that is kind of coach speak, you're not supposed to say, hey, we got guys that are good and we like them, but listen, if we do upgrade you, no hard feelings. You're not going to say that, but especially in a sport like football with the dedication and the level that it takes to get to that. But at the end of the day, this is a team, this is a coach that stands by his players very much, and I do think that is a part of it because he's said so in locker room speeches to these guys. I think that's real. I don't think that should stop Brad Holmes from making moves, and I think it's then up to Brad Holmes to really decide and make the final hammer because that's what a GM does. But I think that's part of it. Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, you look at it in the chat. It says Burns says no because they let DJ walk, no emotion. They let Jamal Williams walk. They have moved on from guys. Jeff Okudah got traded. I know those aren't their guys.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Okudah wasn't their guy, but still, Jamal Williams is a pretty emotional part of this team, a leader.
Yeah.
Set a record for him. Seemed like a very guy.
They tried to keep him, and at one point it didn't become cost effective, and they had to make a move for Montgomery because he was kind of dicking around. And Montgomery is the upgrade, but yeah, I mean that is a great point. They did let Chark walk. They got him free agency after 1 year, though. I mean, maybe like a draft. The other thing too is maybe where I can debunk that a little bit is Chase Young wasn't a player that got cashed in for. It was a third-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
a player yet to be determined. You know what I'm saying? Like but then I came up with that when I was pissed off. You know, but Dan Campbell, the same thing to like I guess the bad but the good. If it comes to that is really what's going on. Is like even the radio interview we had a couple weeks back, where he's like, "Don't really want to mess up the vibes, man." You know, talking about bringing players in. It's like, bro, like what the? And then one of the first things they said about bringing in DPJ, Donovan Peoples-Jones. He's a culture guy. He fits a lot of the principles and shit that we believe in. Like I believe in winning. I believe in getting good players to win football games. Mm-hmm. And not that DPJ is not, but just like the utmost. If it's attainable for as cheap as a third-round pick. Yeah. And you have multiple third-round picks. Yeah. Cash them in and let's go win this damn thing. I want to be emotional and have memories and feel good about them. Let's make one of those memories a fucking Super Bowl. For fuck's sake.
That'd be nice. JB, we got anybody else on the line?
Oh, yeah, we got a couple people on the line still. So I will send you Devin.
What up, Devin?
Devin, how you feeling?
What's good, guys? The best show on Woodward next to Big Big Energy. Fuck the morning show and fuck Woodward. That's what I'm saying. Just wanted to say that. I've been wanting to say that for God. You guys, first off, let me say, you guys single-handedly have gotten me back into football. I have watched this sport for 27 years, painful fucking years with the Lions. I want change now. And like hypothetically, I'm just thinking and like seeing the shiesty ways of like how Detroit sports owners play. Something's going on with Bugs, and like we're not speaking on it. Why are we sitting him so much? Why are we saving him so much consistently when he shows up and he shows out? What is Brad Holm doing with those picks? Like, we need help now, but like, what is he doing with those picks?
That's a good question, man. You sit Bugs, you sit Broderick. For me, I thought the reason they sat Bugs this week and started Broderick was to get a look at what Broderick Martin was before they made a decision whether or not they wanted to add a piece on the defensive line, because it was right before the trade deadline. But I'm not sure. I think Bugs is playing well. He obviously sat the first couple games of the season. Now he sits this one. He's a healthy scratch. Seems like a good guy in the locker room. Everybody likes him. He was a leader last year doing speeches, in the huddles and different things like that. I have no idea. I have no idea what it's coming to. Maybe they just like the rotation. I mean, with Levi Onwuzurike out, I feel like they didn't even have to healthy scratch Bugs, and they could have had him, all four of them there on the roster. But I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with him and why he keeps getting healthy scratched in games.
I think it's like a matchup thing they might believe in, because last week they did the same thing with Charles Harris was inactive, and obviously this week they brought in Broderick Martin. I don't know what it is, but I will say this: I'm happy to see the defensive line perform in the absence of Bugs, because the beginning of the season they weren't doing dick until Bugs came back, and I felt like he was a big piece of that. Now, last night they still performed well. Maybe wasn't. I don't know. It is weird though.
But for on the other side, man, like with all our draft capital, also yes, I'm also Hollywood Blue. Woohoo! Let's go, guys. But but on the real, like with all this draft capital, why are we not capitalizing right now? Because like I literally sat every Thanksgiving having to set the table because the fucking Lions sucked, and just wanting us one Thanksgiving. You know how glad I was last year I didn't have to set the freaking table for the first time in 28 years.
Yeah, that was a wild game.
I don't want to walk into this second half, this bye week, hoping and guessing, hope we get this win. We better go in and get this win. And then we get 2 interceptions and we start losing because we didn't go out and get that person. And correct me if I'm wrong, are we allowed to sign like those free agents, like those Dominican Sewell guys that aren't active playing NFL after the deadline, or is that
you're still allowed to make signings?
You can still make some signings. You just can't make trades.
Appreciate you calling in, Devin, man. Appreciate you supporting the show too.
Yeah, appreciate you calling in.
Appreciate you guys. Sure. Sorry it took so long.
No, you're good, bro.
You're good. That's us.
Appreciate you calling in. And yeah, he's right, man. Lions are fun to watch now. Lions have a good team now, so I'm excited. I'm excited for this year. Like I said, I still see them winning the division. I think that's easy. Like, you could wrap it up now. The division's cooked. I could see them winning a playoff game depending on who they draw in the first round, but we'll see what happens after that.
When we get back, we got Jeff still waiting on the line. We'll get to him and close out the show.
Let me tell you about Big Boy. Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. It's burger time. Try the best cheeseburger or our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Craving chicken, try the Dolly's chicken sandwich, or turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade your regular fries to our chili cheese or loaded baked potato fries, and save room for dessert because they got the Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake, or satisfy your sweet tooth with the funnel cake fries. All of that and more at Big Boy.
And Easy, tell us about Feldman.
I'll tell you about Feldman. The Feldman just in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the closest Feldman to you. They got 18 locations. They got the best car buying experience in the game. Check out Woodward Sports there every other Monday at Feldman Novi.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equipment Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
With money on the line. Featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Fall's perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop with the best at Swiss Insurance. My guy Mark works there. It's Mark at SwissINS.com. Or give him a call today at 248-800-4177. Shout the shot in the Woodward Sports chat. He has his theory is the Niners didn't want the Lions' third-round picks because they were worth more than the compensatory pick of the 49ers. Makes zero fucking sense.
Washington? You mean didn't
Washington.
want
to? Yeah. It's like, for instance, okay, let's say I got $25.
A lot of coping going on. A lot of coping going on.
And I get it.
Somebody in the chat earlier said, oh, the Rams barely won the Super Bowl. Imagine coping so hard, you're like, oh, they barely won the Super Bowl. It's fucking ridiculous, man.
But it's like, yo, I got $25. Spinny has 15.
Yeah.
I offer you 20. Spinny offers you 15.
15.
You're like, you know what?
That 15 looks better.
I'm going to go with that 15 just because you have 25. What? That makes... All right, whatever. I just wanted to address that. I'd make sure I wasn't psycho. But I'm tomorrow's going to happen. Tonight I'm going to see my beautiful son. He turns 4 today. He's happy, candy. He's going to have his costume on. I'm going to cheer up and move on from this. But I want it to be noted, and I don't care if this is proven wrong. I'm down to have a wrong one here. But the Lions will probably go no further than that first playoff game this season.
We'll see. Anything could happen. Any given Sunday.
And we'll look at this moment. But we pissed off about it. We will watch Chase Young and Joey Bosa tear shit up in the NFC Championship. Actually, we could be in the NFC Conference Championship with just one victory if we get the number 1 seed. That's something now too to take away. We have to
get the number 1 seed.
Have to. Fuck a division. Fuck looking at like, oh, we're there. Look at it. It's nice. We're there. Like that was cute. Now we need the number 1 overall seed. And if you are the number 1 overall seed, then why don't you want to get better? I digress. And the secondary thing, we're just riding out with like.
Yeah, that's the one that one gets me is like, if there is a position where I'd want to bolster, depth-wise, not one of these big-name guys, not a Patrick Surtain even, but just somebody you could bring in that can be good depth piece, it would be the secondary, because we're a Trace or a Jerry Jacobs or Cam Sutton rolled ankle away from seeing Will Harris out there again at the outside cornerback, and that did not look great. Will Harris can fill in fine if it's a slot or safety position, but they're very weak at the outside cornerback unless Stephen Gilmore's ready to go. But he was on the injury list. That's the one I don't understand more is the not getting some kind of cornerback. Maybe they sign one. Maybe they bring one in. But
Robert Carnes. Now people are coping with a team that's 6-2. What? This is madness. It's just the fact is, a lot of people, common sense people that know ball, perceive the 49ers, Eagles, and if you're not convinced the Seattle Seahawks can whoop your ass by now, I don't know. I think you're the one dealing with madness. We witness all these teams address perceived weaknesses or just bolster strengths they may have already had in hopes of contending for a championship, and then you sat there with your dick in your hands watching it all go down. I think you're allowed to be mad about that. I think
Uncle Neil Suffy, the Lions did make a trade. They traded a 6th-round pick for Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Yes, sir. Bolstered up that wide receiver room. Fuck a secondary. That never needed to be addressed. We needed another wide receiver. Killing it.
And the long snapper did go to the IR, but they could bring back Mo back. I'm not too worried about that.
You think that's what's happening? There was a long snap competition this offseason. We'll probably bring back that guy. I don't remember which one it was.
I'm sure they bring him back.
I ain't really tripping over the long snapper, personally. Lions got good second or
I'm not tripping about a long snapper either.
Reading some of these comments. Ball knowers who says Burn. I don't know what he's referring to. Shad wants a number. Shad, I'm not calling. I love you, Shad. Appreciate you tuning in. But I'm not having you call and have a discussion if you'd rather take $15 over 20. I mean, what are we talking about there? The Lions had more to offer. They should have. That's not even a fucking discussion I'm entertaining right now. What is the? Am I crazy, Chris? Am I losing my mind right now? Is there a point to be made there?
You're 100% on with this, and this is something that I read.
I feel psycho.
But I disagree with it personally, and I know you guys do too, based on the Jalen Carter draft pick. But there was those reports about Chase Young not necessarily being the greatest locker room guy. Now I'm with you guys.
When?
I'm with you guys. You guys know talent. You can, when you have all the culture around you, that's the whole point of building a strong culture, is to withstand those kinds of situations and those kind of issues that can come up. Like, that's what you built this for. That's what the coaching staff's for. That's what these players are for. Yeah. So go get the talent. Like, you can afford one knucklehead. That's even a Dan Campbell quote himself. But I'm guessing that's like the only thing that makes sense. That's the only thing that makes sense on why you would pass up on a player like that, especially if that's the price. Because any good GM, that Commander GM, you better believe he called the 49ers, and then he called before he finalized that deal, he called other GMs, probably Brad Holmes, and said, "This is what I got on the table. Can you beat this offer?"
Yeah, they were selling. They had to sell him, but there was concern over his player, over his. Who he is as a person and different things like that, and his work ethic. So that's what made them pass on Jalen Carter. Maybe they followed the same route on a Chase Young. So it is what it is. The Lions are riding with their guys, and we'll see what they can do. I expect them to come out of the bye week healthy. I expect them to go in LA and win that game.
I think even just the pure competitiveness between just two professional athletes, Nate Hudson and Chase Young, one being from Ohio State, one being from Michigan, would just drive some amazing shit in itself. But instead, Michigan fans, you get to see two Ohio State guys tearing it up on the defensive line of the 49ers if they stay healthy. I guess I'll throw that caveat.
I did see somebody say,
I'm not mad at people being
somebody tweeted it. So they're like, this team's trying to make a Super Bowl run off of the vibes. Oh, my God. I thought that was pretty funny. But that'll do it for us today. We appreciate you all tapping into the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com.
I'm not mad at anyone who believes in this team, by the way, too. I'm not on the same level as you, clearly. We just, we don't connect there.
4 Easy, 4 Black Stallion, 4 Chris. I'm Danny Raxter. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.
Happy Halloween.
Peace. Happy Halloween.